Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a testing new makeup video. I'm going to be using a bunch of the kind of newest products on the market, and I am really excited because I actually have my friend Heather Austin's new collab with Unearthly here that we're going to be playing with on the eyes, cheeks, lips, I believe. So yeah, we have lots of stuff today. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start priming the eyes. We're just getting right into it because I do want to do my eyes first today. So that means we're going to be starting with Heather Austin's collab. Look at this gorgeous PR box here. Oh, I'm so excited. So her palette is actually called Resurgence with Unearthly, and it's inspired by beetles because there is some really pretty beetles out there. Like, there is some kind of scary looking ones. I'm not a big fan of bugs personally, but some beetles, literally some of their shells are like multi-chrome and are so pretty. So I think this is such a fun idea, and she definitely kind of chose some colors in here to kind of represent that a bit. So let me show you the palette. Again, it's called Resurgence, and then you can kind of see the shifts on even the packaging. It's absolutely beautiful. And then opening it up, you do have a mirror, and here is your color. So there's a mixture of mattes, shimmers. There's going to be some multi-chromes in here as well. It's such a fun color story. And what Heather was saying is that I know it can look a little scary if you're not really into color all that much or don't use color a whole lot, but she said like the top first two rows are more cool and the bottom two rows are more warm, so you can kind of go in that area. I already kind of know what look I want to do. She was showing me some sneak peeks last week because I got to meet her in person for the first time in Charleston, so that was so much fun, and immediately I was like, okay, I know what we're gonna do. I want to do something fun, a little bit more smoky. I'm gonna go ahead and insert some swatches for you of the whole palette, but definitely check out Heather's video to see kind of why she picked certain colors, the names, and a little more background on the collection. Okay, let's dive in. You guys, I already have my eye primer on. I do want to go ahead and use this kind of taupey purple in the crease. This is called Cerambus, and I'm using my Singe Beauty brushes again, the EO2, and we're gonna just place this right in that crease area. So what's funny is I actually just used Unearthly, the brand, for the first time this week. If you guys saw my last video kind of talking about the creator trip, Unearthly was one of the brands that did a little event for us, and I got to try out their Don't Be Jelly palette, which is also one of their newer launches. So I loved kind of getting into the formula a little bit, and I really just fell in love with the brand from that palette. It was such a beautiful palette. So it's so exciting that I get to play with more from the brand so soon, and especially that it's a collab with Heather. You guys know I reviewed her first collab with Adept. I was so blown away, so I knew she was going to do a great job on this. There's just no denying it. Heather is like the queen of palette reviews. She always has a new review up multiple times a week, and just meeting her in person just made it all that more special. She is such a genuine, just kind-hearted person, and I love to see her just kind of fulfilling her dreams. Next, I'm going to take this black glittery shade. I believe this one can be used as a matte. It just kind of has that sparkle in there. And I'm gonna do this lightly because I'm sure this is gonna be really pigmented, and we're just gonna kind of place this in the outer corner and kind of feather it out a bit. But this will work just fine as a matte. It's kind of like how, you know, ColourPop has some of those glitters in their mattes, and it just kind of adds a fun effect to it. But the glitters, they'll show up a little bit on the eye just to add a little sparkle here, but it's not like it's a thick, chunky glitter or anything like that. But this is a really nice black. It's actually very easy to work with, and it's blending really nice. Some matte blacks can be really chalky and dusty or dry feeling and don't always blend the best, but really I just needed only like 1 or 2 dips in, and it just kind of blends itself a bit. So that's awesome. Okay, for the lower lash line, I am going to wet this BK Beauty brush here. And this is just their 210 brush, and I'm gonna go into the blue color here on the lower lash line, and just kind of spreading this along. The wetting the brush is just going to kind of keep that pigment intact so it doesn't get too messy, and it makes it a little bit more opaque. For the shimmer, I'm going to dip into Scarab, and I'm going to just kind of swipe this on the lid. Unearthly's shimmers are seriously so stunning. They just melt, and they're really soft too. They're not chunky at all, but they have so much sparkle to them. I'm just taking a brush to dip into the inner portion a little. And then I just want a little bit more shift. This is just a really pretty, very smoky gray. And just to add a hint of a shift, I think I want to take, we'll do Creation here, just a little bit. And I'm going to lightly press this over top. This adds just a little bit more green shift to it and just makes it a little bit more, I don't know, fun and unique. Ups that shine just even a bit more. I feel like we have a very kind of navy smoky look, so I'm going to use this L'Oreal eyeliner in Blue Jersey. This is a newer one actually, part of their Infallible line. It says it's up to 36 hours of wear. Not that I've tested it for that long, but we're just going to add a little bit of this on the waterline on my lower lash line here. So we're going to take a pause on eyes and move to face, but I've really had fun with this look so far. I am going to be testing a new foundation today, so I'm using a tried and true primer, the Hourglass. This is the Vanish Airbrush. I always use this one when I'm testing something out because it's just a perfect everyday primer. It's not too matte. It just kind of perfects the skin a little bit more. So this is just a tried and true for me. Okay, so for foundation, I have been hearing quite a bit of buzz on this Guerlain one, and I actually ended up picking this up during the Sephora sale towards the very end of the sale, so I never actually hauled it. But this is the Guerlain Terracotta Le Tint foundation, and it says Healthy Glow Natural Perfection Foundation for 24-hour wear with no transfer. And I'm really excited to see how I like this one. It honestly sounds really nice. I do have oilier skin for reference, so we'll see how it wears today as well. I do like to do a little check-in towards the end of the day. So let's do about a pump and a half is usually what I do for my foundation. I do like pretty decent coverage. And we're going to just spread this along. It might be like a tad light on me just because I have a little self-tan on, but I swatched it on my neck and it honestly wasn't too bad. So just keep in mind, it's probably not going to be an exact match right now. This does have a scent to it. I'm not loving the scent. It's very florally, which I feel like all luxury foundations always smell so weird. But I'm really liking how this is applying though. It's actually quite blendable and it feels really silky smooth on the skin. Really nice texture. This really is looking beautiful. I know it's called like a tint, but it has more coverage than a typical skin tint does. Like I would say this is a medium coverage. It doesn't cover my blemishes fully. They do cover a little bit and just kind of perfect things, but I just feel like the finish of this is so pretty. I am going to conceal just those blemish spots with my Nars. This is the Soft Matte Concealer. I always use this. It's like a potted one because it has really good coverage, so I always use this for blemishes. I actually need to order a new one because I'm almost out of the one I'm using currently. And then I just kind of run my foundation brush back on top of that just to blend everything. All right, that looks stunning on the skin. There's not a flaw in sight. No dryness. No texture peeking out. It looks beautiful. Okay, concealer, another one I'm so excited to try is the new one from Natasha Denona. I just had to try it. I know I usually don't gravitate towards her complexion products, but I was just really curious. So this is her High Glam Concealer. It says Brightening and Hydrating Crease Proof Serum Concealer. I chose the shade R2 because typically I do have more pink undertones. I really love the packaging, I will say, on this. This is what it looks like. It has like a soft matte almost opener right there, which feels really nice. And then here is the doe-foot applicator. All right, so ooh, it seems like it's gonna be a good coverage. I'm gonna add just a little bit on my forehead, nose, and chin area just to highlight. Okay, blending this out here. It's definitely the coverage I like. I do like more higher coverage concealers. So I really like how this looks under the eye. I'm surprised because it doesn't, let me like touch it with my finger, because it doesn't feel like a serum because it's thicker, and sometimes serum concealers are just more of that liquid formula, which I'm not really getting from this. But a lot of times I can't personally do the more serum-like or hydrating concealers because they won't set fully on me, because again, I'm oily, and then my mascara starts running and getting like smudgy under there. So I don't actually like usually the super hydrating concealers, but I mean, I wouldn't say this is dry, it's just a thicker. It's still flattering under the eyes. It looks very flawless though, along with the foundation. Like, this is turning out to be really good first impression wise. I did get a new powder from Makeup Forever that I really wanted to try. This kind of reminds me of the Givenchy in a way, where it has a multitude of colors. I figured we could try this under the eyes and all over the face. I have the shade Light. This is the number 1 shade. So I guess it opens like this. This is so interesting. Okay, you twist it, and then some of the powder starts falling into the bottom from each of the sides. Oh, that's so cool. All right, I'm just gonna dip my brush in there and we'll just set this under eye. It seems pretty smoothing, I will say. Maybe even a little brightening. But I like the finish. It's very lightweight, but it's not like super matte. So I think it works under the eyes. I do want to go back into the Resurgence palette and take this Life shade for the inner corner, because I like it to be nice and bright. Oh, that is the perfect inner corner highlight. This has just a very slight shimmer to it. It's a satin finish, but like it's bright enough that it's just really going to pop that inner corner. Yeah, that's really beautiful. Okay, Heather, you know what you're doing. Okay, I'm gonna get some more product because I'm actually gonna set the whole face with this. Let's see if I can dip my powder brush in here. I like the concept though, but like I need it a little bit bigger because I'm making a bit of a mess, but it's not quite as messy as some of my other powders are. And let's set everything. I did notice there is a little bit, I feel like, of a white cast when I first put it on, but yeah, I feel like that really brightened the whole face. Maybe it's best for under eyes, I don't know, but it looks nice. Like the finish is really beautiful. I know I should finish the eyes, but I need to bronze up. I just need to add some color. So I'm gonna use actually the Pat McGrath one. This is my newest one still in my collection, and I still am kind of testing it out. I got this during the Sephora sale as well, and I've been liking it so far. This one is in the Bronze Dawn color. Let's add some color to the face. I know Pat is coming out with something new soon. I've been seeing her sneak peeks. Lots of pink going on again. So I'm like, are we getting another pink palette? Because she tends to like her pinks a lot. But I'm so curious to see what she's coming out with. Let me know your guesses down below if you guys have seen the promo videos. I really love this bronzer. I feel like it's the perfect color. It gives a really natural bronze. And it's definitely giving us the color that we need. Okay, so I just added the tiniest baby half lash on the eyes from Amazon. I'll have it linked down below if you guys are interested. I'm just obsessed with half lashes, and these are nice because they don't take away from like the whole eye look. But I do have a new brow powder to use today. This is new from Benefit. I'm a little bit nervous because I never use brow powders, and this actually looks really similar to one that they used to have back in the day. But this is their new Goof Proof brow powder, and we're gonna try and apply this on the brows and see how it goes. I do have their little brow brush as well to use, so I'm just gonna dip in. And I think I'm going to start just by lining out the edges. I really don't do a ton to my brows anyway. And I'm just going to try to fluff this product up into them. Just kind of taking it up and out. It's actually not as hard as I thought it was going to be. I don't know why I thought it was going to be such a drastic difference. That was actually really easy. They look pretty good. I think I got maybe this side a little too thick, so I'm kind of trying to brush that through a little more. But this side is more sparse anyway, so it just takes a little more effort, I suppose. I am just gonna run a brow gel through. I'm just gonna use the Benefit brow setter. just to kind of give some lift and hold to them as well for the day. Let's move on to blush. So I ordered this new Nars. It's the Afterglow Liquid Blush in Orgasm. And honestly, I was really curious to see how similar it is to their already existing liquid blushes and if it was really a necessary buy. I plan to do a TikTok comparing them, but we could do a swatch comparison. So this is my original, and I love this blush, the liquid blush in Orgasm. Compared to the new one, beautiful packaging. This old one has 0.5 ounces. This new one is 0.23 ounces. So half the product in this new one. Let's see how this looks on the cheeks. Oh, it's like a little doe foot. The old one is just a pump. I'm kind of nervous to dot this on. I don't want to ruin anything. So I'm going to apply it first to my hand. And then I'm going to take this BK Beauty 107 brush and dip it into the blush. And then apply it on the cheeks. It's a really nice, just like wet formula. But it's like almost, feels almost airbrushed. Nars always knows how to do a good cheek product. I guess we'll try it dotted on and see if that makes a difference. I just feel like you don't get as good of a blend this way. But I mean, it's such a natural formula that's very liquidy, so it will just blend effortlessly. It doesn't leave any weird marks. I have powder on, you guys know it's not looking weird over the powder. It's not lifting anything. It's beautiful. I got this shade to test with the old one I have, but this makes me definitely want to try more shades. I don't know if they're phasing this one out. Let me just do a swatch comparison. But I think this old one is actually a lot pinker, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, these are totally different shades. I will tell you, this new Orgasm though looks more similar to the powder blush color in my opinion, because that's definitely more peach, while the old one is more pink. So the old one's on the bottom, it's a little more matte, it's thicker, it doesn't blend out as easily, I will tell you, but they're both beautiful. But this is definitely more comparable to the powder. It has the shimmer and everything. So they are different, I will tell you. They are different if you are wondering. I do really like this formula though, especially if you want more of that natural look. The other one's just a bit more pigmented. I think they both have their purposes. Okay, I turned my brightness down a bit so hopefully you guys can see me a bit better. I feel like I was just looking really blown out on camera. Okay, going back into Heather's collection, she does have as well a little highlighter duo and a lip gloss in the collection, so I do want to use her highlight today. Now, she does have two colors in here. I will swatch them for you. But this is what it looks like. And this one looks really red, but in person, you can see more of the shift where it shifts like bronze when you hold it a different way. So you can kind of see it there, how it shifts. But oh, it's beautiful. And then she has this more kind of champagne-y one as well. Let's swatch them. Ooh, this is like a really kind of almost melty formula. And it swatches a gold to kind of almost reddish pink shift. And let's swatch Renewal. This one's gonna be beautiful for medium, deeper skin tones, even as like a blush topper. How pretty. And I think Heather was saying that she really likes their formula because they're not like overly pigmented, where if you're like super fair like I am, they're not gonna leave like a huge cast on the skin. But I'm gonna go in with the lighter one, which is Rebirth. And we'll go ahead and place this in the upper parts of the cheekbones. You can definitely see a little hint of that pinky red sparkle there. But again, I like their highlighters because they're not like stripy. They just have this really pretty iridescent glitter to them. I would definitely say you have to like glitter to like their highlights, but they are really beautiful. And for lips, I'm still gonna go more nude. Let's just do lip liner and then we'll do the gloss over it. This is just the Rare Beauty one in Talented. And then let's try out the lip gloss. So the gloss is kind of like this pearly color that's supposed to reflect like tons of different colors. It has little beetles in the packaging and it says Heather Austin and Unearthly on it. So let's see how this looks. Ooh, that's a lot of sparkle. That's pretty. Okay, wow, that looks so good, you guys. I do need to do my hair eventually today, but I honestly love how the face looks. I feel like there hasn't been like any first impression duds so far. So I want to wear it at least 6 to 8 hours and come back and just show you how everything's holding up. Let me do a quick setting spray spritz because I do want this to last. Let's do the Milk makeup. Alright, now that we're nice and locked in, I will see you guys in a few hours to let you guys know what I think so far. Okay guys, it has been about 6 hours. I wanted to kind of give you my thoughts on the products after actually having worn them, seeing how they wear for a decent amount of time. I have to say, I have been obsessed with the makeup look today. Like, I could not stop looking, especially at my skin. I feel like this was such a good combo, using the Guerlain and then the Makeup Forever powder. Even though I am a little bit oily right now, I feel like my skin still looks really beautiful. I think with an even more mattifying primer, this could work even a little bit better for me, but it really just needs a little touch up powder. But it's not like breaking up or anything, it just looks really pretty on the skin. It's not clinging to any dry spots or anything like that, and it's not breaking up at all. The concealer actually looks really nice as well, I will say. I just have a little bit of a line right here where it's settling into, but it's really not too shabby. Just a little bit of smudging here underneath the eyes from my eyeshadow, kind of transferring a little bit with the concealer as my skin got oily, but I'm actually quite impressed with all the complexion stuff we used. Now I do have a ring light on and it makes me look even more oily than I am, but let's do a little powder touch up here. I'm just gonna use whatever I have left over from my Makeup Forever and touch this up so we are good to go for the rest of the night. Like, as you can see, like, that pretty much solved our oily problem. Typically throughout the day I do blot, but when I do wear tests, I like to see like how long I can go without blotting so you guys can see how it wears. But I just can't believe like how good my skin looks. Like, this powder, even though it seems like it's very bright on the skin, it does just kind of settle a little bit after having worn it, but it's so smoothing and it looks so good. I don't know if I need a darker color, but that really just freshened everything right up. As you can see, our eyeshadow has also lasted. There is no creasing at all. Sometimes really shimmery, creamy eyeshadows will crease up a little bit with the formulas, but yeah, there is no creasing here. It still looks just as good as when we applied it today. Our lashes still look amazing, but the lip has only just started fading because I just ate dinner. So it just came off a little bit, but it actually lasted 5 hours before I ate dinner, which is great for a gloss, and you still have some of that lip liner stain on there. I actually really liked this brow powder as well. I feel like this just looks very natural in the brows. It was quick and easy to do. So I don't know, I might be a brow powder girly now. This worked really well for me. I will say the Nars Afterglow liquid blush, it still looks very pretty, but honestly, I feel like I still prefer the old formula just a bit more. I do like that this is very blendable though, but it's definitely more natural, and I do like a more pigmented blush, but if you like something just natural for every day, definitely check these out. I am still curious to try a couple more shades in these just to see, but I do like the formula, but I just do prefer the original, which you can still get. I think Ulta has it, Nars.com, a couple websites still sell this original. This is just more pigment if you like those bright baby doll pink cheeks. But this is also very, very pretty on the skin. I do want to mention, because I did not go over this in the beginning, but the release date for Heather Austin and Unearthly is May 25. So it's still in a few days. You cannot use codes on this launch since it is a collab. You can buy the full collection box set for $86. The palette is going to be $45. The highlighter duo and lip gloss are exclusive to the box set. I did not know that. So you cannot buy those singly. The only single thing that you can get is the palette. Otherwise, you do have to get the box set, but it does kind of give you a bundled deal with this set. So that's the prices, the launch date. It is going to be at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I will have that in the description box so you guys don't forget if you guys do want to pick this collection up. I know a couple of you guys ordered the Don't Be Jelly palette as well. You can use my code Leah Janae on their other stuff, just not Heather's collab. That is everything I have to share with you today. Oh my gosh, so many fun products today. Let me know if there's anything you guys are looking to pick up, and I'll try to have these in a speed review soon. But thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.